What if I told you that the biggest threat to your prostate is not your age, not your genetics, and not something rare or mysterious? What if the real danger is something you are eating and drinking almost every day without even thinking about it? If you are a man over 45 and you wake up multiple times at night to urinate, if your urine stream feels weaker than it used to, if you feel pressure, discomfort, or a constant sense that your bladder never fully empties. If your energy and confidence are not what they once were, then this message is for you. Because in my years of working with men, I've seen this pattern again and again. Men blame aging. They accept poor sleep. They normalize discomfort. They quietly lose confidence in their own bodies. But very often the prostate is not failing. It is reacting. Reacting to inflammation, reacting to poor circulation, reacting to daily habits, especially what you put on your plate and in your cup. And the most frustrating part, no one ever clearly explains this connection to you. Today, I want to change that. My name is Dr. Adriana Wells, and I'm a physician focused on urology and men's health. On this channel, Urology for You. My goal is simple: to help you understand your body clearly without fear, confusion, or exaggeration. I speak every day with men who are doing everything right. They take supplements, they attend checkups, some even exercise regularly, yet they still struggle with prostate symptoms, poor sleep, and declining vitality. Why? Because no one taught them how powerful everyday habits truly are, especially diet. This video is not about extreme rules or perfect eating. It is about awareness, direction, and small decisions that quietly change how your body feels. Before I dive deeper, I want to invite you to support this channel. If you care about your prostate health, your sleep, your energy, and your long-term independence, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Urology for You, and press the bell icon so you don't miss future guidance. Everything here is designed to help you make informed, calm, and confident decisions about your health. Now, let's continue. First, let's clear something important. Your prostate is not your enemy. It is a small gland, but it plays a major role in urinary function, sexual health, and overall comfort. When the prostate is healthy, you barely notice it. Urination is easy, sleep is uninterrupted, your bladder feels calm. As men age, the prostate often grows slightly. This is common, but growth alone does not automatically mean suffering. What causes problems is inflammation, congestion, and pressure. When the prostate becomes irritated, even mildly, it can press against the urethra, the tube that carries urine out of the body. This leads to weak urine flow, urgency, dribbling, frequent nighttime urination. Many men are told this is just aging, but that is incomplete information. Lifestyle factors, especially diet, can dramatically influence how inflamed or calm the prostate becomes over time. Your daily habits determine whether your prostate environment is hostile or supportive. Food is not just fuel. Food is information. Every meal sends chemical signals that influence inflammation levels, blood vessel flexibility, hormonal balance, fat storage, circulation to the pelvic region. When your diet consistently increases inflammation, your prostate sits in that inflammatory environment every single day. Poor circulation means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reaching prostate tissue. Hormonal imbalance affects how prostate cells behave. Excess abdominal fat increases pressure in the pelvis. None of this happens overnight. It happens quietly, gradually, and predictably. That is why so many men are confused. Symptoms appear slowly, and no single meal seems responsible, but patterns matter. Today, I want to talk about 3 everyday dietary patterns that act like silent enemies to the prostate when consumed regularly and in excess. Let's start with the first enemy: number, processed, and excess red meat. The first enemy is not meat itself, but how often, how much, and what type. I'm talking about bacon, sausages, hot dogs, deli meats, salami, fatty burgers, frequently charred or heavily grilled red meat. These foods are deeply ingrained in many cultures, especially among men. They are associated with strength and satisfaction, but after midlife, they often create the opposite effect. Processed meats contain high levels of saturated fat, excess sodium, preservatives and additives, compounds formed during smoking and charring. Together, these promote chronic low-grade inflammation. They also contribute to abdominal fat, fat that is hormonally active and inflammatory. That fat releases signals that circulate directly through the pelvis, increasing irritation around the prostate. Think of the prostate like a sponge surrounded by blood vessels and nerves. When inflammation rises, that sponge becomes congested, sensitive, and swollen. Men often notice a heavier feeling in the lower abdomen, slower urine flow, more nighttime urination. They assume it's age, but very often it's the plate. This does not mean you must eliminate red meat forever. It means frequency and processing matter. Smart swaps for enemy number one. You don't need extreme change. You need smarter balance. Start by reducing processed meats to rare occasions, choosing leaner cuts when you do eat red meat, adding fish like salmon or sardines 2 to 3 times per week, including beans or lentils as protein sources, filling half your plate with vegetables. Think in terms of replacement, not restriction. Every meal that reduces inflammation gives your prostate a calmer environment to function. Enemy number 2, sugary drinks and refined carbohydrates. The second enemy is often overlooked because it doesn't feel dangerous. Sugary drinks and refined carbohydrates include soda, sweetened tea, energy drinks, sugary coffee drinks, fruit juices, white bread, pastries, and cookies. These foods rapidly raise blood sugar. Your body responds by releasing insulin to control that sugar. When this happens repeatedly over years, your cells become less responsive to insulin, a condition called insulin resistance. Insulin resistance increases inflammation, abdominal fat, hormonal imbalance. It also damages blood vessels. Healthy prostate tissue depends on good circulation. When blood vessels stiffen and narrow, pelvic tissues suffer. Many men notice that along with urinary symptoms, they experience lower energy, reduced vitality, decreased confidence. Excess sugar also contributes to weight gain around the waist, increasing pelvic pressure and worsening urinary urgency. Fruit juice deserves special mention. Even natural juice often delivers sugar without fiber, causing rapid spikes. The prostate doesn't care if sugar comes from soda or juice. The metabolic effect is similar. Smart swaps for enemy number 2. Plus transition. Start with awareness, not guilt. Look at what you drink each day. Replace just one sugary drink per day with water. Sparkling water with lemon. Unsweetened herbal or green tea. Choose whole grains instead of white flour when possible. Enjoy desserts occasionally, not daily. Small changes calm blood sugar, hormones, and inflammation. And now there is a third everyday enemy often consumed in the evening that many men completely overlook. It may be the biggest reason you keep waking up at night to urinate. Now, let's talk about the third everyday enemy of your prostate, the one most men completely overlook. And this one is especially important if you wake up at night to urinate. I'm talking about salty, ultra-processed convenience foods, particularly when eaten in the evening. This includes instant soups, frozen dinners, fast food, packaged snacks, chips, crackers, and salty nuts, heavily salted sauces, and ready-made meals. Why is this such a problem? First, sodium. When you consume large amounts of salt, your body holds on to water to keep sodium levels balanced. That extra fluid has to go somewhere and eventually your bladder fills. If you eat a salty dinner or snack late in the evening, your kidneys continue filtering that excess fluid during the night. The result? A full bladder while you're trying to sleep. For a man with a sensitive or enlarged prostate, this creates a perfect storm. The bladder fills faster, the prostate partially blocks urine flow, you wake up with urgency, you empty only partially, and a few hours later, you're up again. Over time, this cycle destroys sleep quality. Poor sleep then worsens. Hormonal balance, inflammation, blood sugar regulation, energy, and mood. Ultra-processed foods create another hidden issue: low fiber intake. Low fiber leads to constipation. When stool accumulates in the rectum, it takes up space in the pelvis and presses forward against the bladder and prostate. This pressure increases urinary urgency and discomfort. Many men are shocked to learn that constipation alone can worsen prostate symptoms. So, if your evenings often involve quick, salty meals and late-night snacking, your prostate and bladder are paying the price, quietly, night after night. Smart swaps for enemy number 3. Protecting yourself from this third enemy does not require gourmet cooking. It requires timing and simplicity. Start with these changes. Reduce salt gradually. Taste food before adding more. Read labels on soups, sauces, and frozen meals. Choose simple home-cooked meals with real ingredients. Make dinner lighter and less salty than lunch. Try to finish your main meal earlier in the evening. Also, be mindful of fluids at night. This does not mean dehydration. It means timing matters. Reduce large drinks 2 to 3 hours before bed if nighttime urination is a problem. Finally, support regular bowel movements by eating more vegetables, including whole grains, drinking enough water earlier in the day. A calmer bladder at night leads to deeper sleep, and deeper sleep supports prostate health more than most men realize. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine two men, both 60 years old. They have similar genetics, both have mild prostate enlargement, very common at this age. The first man eats processed meats most days. He drinks soda or sweet tea regularly. His dinners are often salty, convenient, and late. He snacks at night and drinks large amounts of fluid before bed. He wakes up 3 or 4 times a night to urinate. His sleep is fragmented. He feels tired, irritable, and accepts this as normal aging. The second man makes modest but consistent changes. He limits processed meats. He replaces sugary drinks with water or unsweetened tea. He eats simpler, lighter dinners and reduces evening fluids. After a few weeks, he notices fewer nighttime trips, a steadier urine stream, less pelvic pressure, better morning energy. The difference between these two men is not luck. It is habit. Small decisions repeated daily quietly shape how the prostate behaves. While this video focuses on enemies, it's important to mention allies. You don't need superfoods or complicated plans. You need supportive patterns. Helpful foods include colorful vegetables rich in antioxidants. Tomatoes, especially cooked with olive oil, which provide lycopene, healthy fats from olive oil, nuts, and seeds. Legumes like beans and lentils for fiber and metabolic health. Green tea, which offers antioxidants without sugar. But more important than any single food is a principle. More real food, fewer ultra-processed foods, more color on the plate, less beige and brown. When you follow this principle, inflammation decreases, circulation improves, and your prostate environment becomes calmer. I want to address something many men think about but rarely say out loud: confidence in your intimate life. Prostate symptoms don't just affect urination, they affect how you feel in your body. Waking up multiple times at night drains energy. Poor circulation affects vitality. Constant discomfort creates anxiety and self-doubt. When your prostate is irritated, your nervous system stays on alert. But when sleep improves, circulation improves, and inflammation calms, something important happens. You begin to trust your body again. This sense of safety and stability changes how you show up with your partner and with yourself. Taking care of your prostate is not just about avoiding problems. It's about protecting your presence, your confidence, and your connection. If you're thinking, I wish I had known this years ago, I want to stop you right there. Your body is remarkably responsive. Blood vessels improve when inflammation drops. Hormones stabilize when sleep improves. Metabolism adjusts when sugar spikes are reduced. Even at 55, 65, or 75, meaningful improvement is possible. You may not feel like you're 25 again, but you can feel calmer, lighter, clearer, and more in control. The prostate responds to consistency, not perfection. Your past habits do not define your future health. Your next decision does. Before you move on with your day, I want you to do one thing. Choose one enemy we discussed: processed meats, sugary drinks, and refined carbs, salty, ultra-processed evening foods. And for the next 7 days, reduce it consciously, just one. Write it down. Keep it visible. Then observe your sleep, your nighttime urination, your energy, how your body feels. This is not about discipline. It's about listening. Your body will give you feedback. Let me leave you with one clear truth. The real enemy of your prostate is not age. It is everyday habits that inflame your body. And the most powerful place to change those habits is your plate. Your prostate is not asking for perfection. It is asking for consistency. Every better choice sends a message your body understands. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and press the bell so you can continue learning with me here on Urology for You. And tell me in the comments what is the one change you're starting today. I am Dr. Adriana Wells. Thank you for taking care of your health.